Hi folks, welcome to the show. My name's the Glad and Gladiator and it's my mission to infodump about everything Disney animation on the internet. And on this glorious day of the spooky month, I'm going to be talking about the newly released Muppets Haunted Mansion special for Disney+. A little background. The Muppets have always been one of my most prominent special interests in life. As a kid, one of my favourite movies was Muppet Treasure Island, and I watched it to ad nauseum and could likely recite it line for line right now. However, I didn't really become so emotionally invested in the brand and its history until the 2011 movie came out and made me go back and rewatch through the entire franchise. I love the Muppets so much, I even made a once in a blue moon negative video discussing how Disney has treated the property over the past 7 or so years. Basically detailing all the terrible business decisions made with the characters and how after 2014, Disney entirely forgot what made the Muppets work. So when they announced a new Halloween special based on the Haunted Mansion in May, I was cautiously optimistic. I mean, if they played it right, this could be the very thing to point the franchise in the right direction again. And as we got closer to its October 8th release, I found myself more and more excited. The list of gratuitous celebrity cameos, the trailer showing off some cheap but fun special effects, that also had a ton of self-aware humour and even some cameos from characters we hadn't seen in a while. Now the special is finally out and seems to not only have a warm reception, but so far has been a decently good success. But how do I feel about it? Is this the dawn of a new era for the Muppets, or is it time to lay the characters to rest? Only one way to find out. So, Muppets Haunted Mansion focuses on Gonzo being invited to a Halloween challenge where he believes he'll get to meet his idol, the Great MacGuffin. However, when he arrives, he learns the challenge is to survive the night in the Haunted Mansion, or else he'll remain there forever. Also, Pepe is here too because he thinks it's a party where he'll get to smooge with celebrities. And that's the story. It's just a series of fun gags as the duo explores the mansion trying to find a way out while stumbling across a bunch of not so lively characters in the process. But I mean, what more could you want from a Muppet special? To me, it felt very reminiscent of Muppet projects in the 90s, with these elaborate set pieces, a constant stream of new ideas, and of course the heavy focus on Gonzo. And that makes sense, as this is sort of a revival of a scrapped Muppets Halloween special from the early 90s, which was cancelled before another attempt was made in 2009, but that was also cancelled so the studio could work on the 2011 movie. Basically, this has been a long time coming. The special was written and directed by Kirk Thatcher, who has been a core member of the Muppet Studios team since the mid-90s, so that explains why it's so indicative of that era. The whole thing carries this infectious energy where it's throwing out jokes and slapstick a mile a minute, so if one falls flat, it quickly moves on. And I did find the special as a whole to be incredibly funny. It has that perfect balance between physical violence, clever wordplay, and terrible puns that has always been one of the largest factors in the Muppets' wide generational appeal. And after so long of Disney narrowing their audience and alienating the core fan base, it did admittedly get me a little emotional to see a Muppet project like this again. As previously mentioned, the special features a lot of nostalgic throwbacks to moments of Muppets past. Very much in line with the 2011 movie, just not as emotionally devastating. When Gonzo and Pepe first arrive at the banquet hall, they stumble on a scene that is clearly a reference to the sketch At the Dance. The stand-in for Kermit is the host of The Mansion Show, where he introduces Gauzy the Hatbox Ghost, who is naturally heckled by Statler and Waldorf.
Don't you have anything better to do than boo me?
We're ghosts!
Yeah, booing comes with the territory! Boo! Boo!
Kermit's making terrible puns and then laughing at them. Rolf plays the organ like he used to play the piano. Also, hey, Rolf's back. After getting shoved completely to the sidelines in the ABC show and not appearing at all in Muppets Now despite being in all the promotional material, it's nice to finally have him back as part of the group again. Then of course there's the storyline that focuses on Gonzo being a daredevil, which I'll come back to later. Now, these might seem like needless references to appeal to the audience's nostalgia. And they are, but they do kind of have to be there. With the precarious state of the franchise, you can't really blame them for putting in some references just to remind the audience that these characters used to be one of the most popular things in the world. Oh, and if you're a fan of the Haunted Mansion, you'll get to see everything you're looking for. The stretching room, the singing busts, the train, the ride breaking down, it's all here. The special features 3 original songs by Ed Mitchell and Stephen Morell. Rest in Peace is a song performed by Darren Criss as he begs Gonzo and Pepe not to disturb the deceased, which is a really fun number that showcases just how well the humour of the Muppets and the Haunted Mansion fit together. It also gets through most of our celebrity cameos, who presumably the team could only afford to have in the film for a few seconds, including Ed Asner in one of his final roles. The second song is called Life Hereafter, which is your classic zany Muppet group number with a lot of expert puppetry and a weird but welcome Be Our Guest reference.
We can tell jokes.
Thank you, Trick.
My deadly candlesticks.
And finally we have The Tie the Knot Tango, a duet between Pepe and Constance Hatchaway, who played by Taraji P. Henson, who has a stunning voice and needs to be in more musicals. Outside of that, we also get the Electric Mayhem doing a cover of Dancing in the Moonlight at the beginning and ending of the special. Overall, the songs are pretty good. Nothing that'll become instant classics, but enjoyable within the context of the special. They carry the same wit and charm Muppet songs always have, but are on a lower tier compared to what these characters have given us in the past. I feel we could have used one more really strong Muppet number to really sell it. Maybe they could have extended the Madame Pigota sequence and given us a song there, or if they really wanted to do something special, they could have included a slightly more sentimental and emotional song that tied into Gonzo's arc. I know we'll never have another I'm Going to Go Back There Someday, but the Muppets are known for their emotional songs just as much as their upbeat stuff, and I feel if they had just included one more song that felt a bit more connected to Gonzo's journey, it would have completed the whole package. However, it is so nice to just have music in a Muppet production again, as back in my previous video I did say that was one of the most glaring omissions in recent years. Music was one of the core elements of the Muppets that had been strangely absent, but the other one, and perhaps the biggest, was the heart. So with this special, has the heart finally returned to the Muppets? Well, not entirely, but it's almost there. Be warned, this is where we start getting into spoiler territory. So leave the video now if you haven't seen Muppets Haunted Mansion and plan to at some point over your fleeting existence. Okay, so throughout the special, a through line is that Gonzo insists he isn't scared of anything, which culminates in him having to enter room 999, where he'll have to face his darkest fears in order to escape from the mansion. With some always helpful nightmare fuel, Gonzo starts to see himself rapidly aging as he reveals his biggest fear is that no one will care about him if he isn't doing dangerous stunts. Even though Kermit tried to tell him,
"You don't have to be the great Gonzo to be great.
Just being you is good enough.
Through realizing and accepting his fears, Gonzo finally makes it to the exit of the mansion and is free to go so long as he leaves before the sun rises. But Pepe is still in there and about to be married to a murderous serial bride. Then there's something I was really impressed by. For a moment, Gonzo heads for the exit before stopping. It's a very short moment, but I was shocked to see they put that in. It shows these characters have flaws and real emotions, which is what made them so lovable in the first place. Jim and his friends treated each of their creations as their own living, breathing beings, and that's why it caught on. No matter who you were, there was a Muppet you could relate to on a deep and personal level, because they took time and care to give them real conflicts and relationships, and that's something we just haven't seen as of late.
No, I can't. I won't leave here without Pepe.
So Gonzo goes on a daring rescue to save Pepe, and once they make it out of the mansion, it's revealed the ghost host was actually the Great MacGuffin all along. So Gonzo gets to meet his idol and is given a special card before all the happy haunts start to fade away. Gonzo and Pepe get picked up by their limo driver and head off to meet up with everyone else on this beautiful morning, only to learn they picked up some hitchhikers, thus ending Muppets Haunted Mansion. This was such a fun special that took me right back to being a kid and watching new Muppets content. With how much the franchise has been struggling in recent years, it was a real treat seeing something so creatively sparked, energetic, and Muppetational. It harkened back to the franchise's glory days while also containing a few fun surprises and a really effective spooky atmosphere. While I'm not quite ready to scream from the hilltops that the Muppets are back, it was a really good step in the right direction that makes me even more excited to see where these characters go next. But now we've had a short form series and a special, the next step is a big Disney Plus original movie to really make the Muppets relevant again. Whether or not that'll actually happen, only time will tell. But things are on the right track, and the future for this band of misfits is looking a lot brighter than it has for a long time. If you happen to be new around here, feel free to subscribe and comment down below as it helps me out a whole lot. And as always, a huge massive thank you to the wonderful, beautiful soul that is Charles Dugan for supporting me over on Patreon. If you want to support the future of this channel and me as a creator, you can do so by heading over and becoming a member of my Patreon, which will be linked in the description and comments down below. But obviously it's entirely optional, and I greatly appreciate every single person who watches and enjoys my content. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I'll see ya real soon.